So what we doing? What we doing? Welcome.
Hello. Welcome to Two Models. By the way, I don't work here, alright? I don't work here.
It's not my channel.
Right. Now that we've established that, we have three Zorros. We have a Zorro, and a Zorro.
Triple Zorro'd up.
Right. You may have already seen some of our old videos with the Zorros. The first one is an Outlaw with smaller wheels and tyres.
And blue bits.
And blue bits and a different body shell. The Nitro one is a stretched... Can I take this off?
Carnage.
Oh, the exhaust is falling off. We'll the Nitro one is a stretched Carnage with a broken exhaust. So that's a completely different
platform. Because Mike ripped the shell off and the exhaust hooks on the shell and Mike was just like...
Not true.
Thanks, man.
You happy?
Happy.
Happy. So, the brushed one is an Outlaw platform. The Nitro one is a Carnage platform. So...
What is this one then, Mike?
Is the brushless one a Carnage or an Outlaw?
Well,
no, it's not.
It's none.
It's neither of those things.
But I've had this in for a couple of days and I've never had the shell off.
Seen
because what's the point in doing an unboxing video when we actually know what's in the car?
Yeah, well,
then would be professional.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
So let's see.
We have the first ever lineup, I think, ever in RCing, where you have three cars in the same, supposed to be the same family, with all three different platforms. Completely different platforms.
It's the only thing that's the same as the shell and the tyres.
There we are.
Look at that, it's a tub chassis.
It's a tub chassis, 4-wheel drive, with centre mounted spur cover and gear, and I think it has a centre differential. Or does it not?
Go for it. See if you do that and the motor turns, it does, yeah, it does.
It does have a centre differential, and it's a sliding motor mount alloy. You can slide it out, get a bigger, fatter motor or a bigger pinion. Nice. Which is nice because the Outlaw platform, you can't do that. You've got to flick it one way or the other and you only get two pinion sizes. So it's and it's got a nice big 80 amp speedo, which is 3S compatible.
Oh yeah, so it is.
4-pole motor. I'm not actually sure.
Amp.
I'm not sure how many. Oh, it does. It says on the back 2,900 kV that motor is. So that'll do 3 cell very happily.
Cool.
It's. I mean,
what's
it's got
the other number? Got
another number.
Because I was looking at the
3665
as you were reading the 29. I'm like,
3665 is the motor. Is the motor's name. But it's quite a long can too.
Yeah. But 2900 kV. 2900 kV with an 80 amp speedo would be probably pretty good for a 3S.
It's supposed to be 3S based, yeah. And then we've got here a waterproof servo, e-tronic sport. It's got a metal casing though. I wonder if that's a metal gear servo. I don't know.
Oh look, it's got the Outlaw radio box.
Yeah.
Aye, but that's the one that's on the metal chassis, I think. It's just a separate box. You the chassis.
Ah, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah. Comes with the Carnage anti-roll bars front and rear. But, cool. Does it have the same wishbones as the Carnage? Have a look.
I think so.
Yeah, it is. Completely new tub though. Which is, it's bizarre how they've managed to get 3 completely different Zorros in the same family.
Yeah, because that's definitely longer as well. Mike's turned the lights off because apparently the camera wasn't very good.
The camera was great, just silhouetting people wasn't very good. But yeah, so we have this completely new thing. We have no idea how it drives because this is the first model with this platform. But it'll be certainly closer to a Carnage than an Outlaw in terms of the way it drives because it's got independent suspension all round. And
probably less tippy, eh? They are quite tippy overy, the Outlaw chassis.
They are.
Because if you look at how kind of wobbly the back end is.
Well, it's got that solid rear axle, isn't it?
And that's obviously not. I mean, the bumper moves before the car. It's so much.
Is it
so much more?
Give it a rigidity test there, Alan.
A rigidity test.
That's good. That's really rigid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because previously you just go.
Yeah.
Do you remember the old Mavericks?
I suppose this one's the metal chassis is helping it. Yeah. But yeah, you've got the metal top decks on that.
I imagine you'll get a metal chassis upgrade for this. If it's not already out, it will be. But this tub is much thicker plastic than we've seen on, because some of the plastic chassis in older FTXs, like the Carnage platform, a little bit thinner, so they can snap in a crash. But this feels more solid actually,
and more of a tub.
Yeah, what is
like
it? The
Carnage comes up a bit, but you wouldn't really somehow call that a tub chassis.
Nah, I wouldn't call that a tub chassis.
Just a normal, but that just comes up a bit more, eh?
But it also doesn't have a cutout for the motor or anything, so it's not weakening it.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's actually a really nice little design. I like the it's not floating, but the movable motor mount and everything to get different gearing options. That's been a must-have for an FTX for a while. You know, you can get into it by unbolting the floor here. I've seen that on the photographs, and it's quite good access.
Yeah, but all that's good if it comes with the upgraded metal parts at the front.
Yeah, hinge pin braces.
Slightly different metal, eh? They're not quite as shiny.
Maybe they've changed the compound. Anyway, yeah, metal hinge pin braces. Yeah,
which is good because that's like an upgrade, eh?
It is an upgrade, yeah. Because I snapped mine on
but
my.
But see, the Nitro has it on the rear.
But is it different colour? Is
it?
Is it
pretty much the same bit? But all the rest of them are like a duller blue, but they're all plastic on here. But that's metal.
But
so that's the first thing you'd really want to buy for one of these cars, these hinge pin holders.
And that's it that
comes with it. That's really good. That.
Also, you notice it's got the same hinge pin shapes, the same depth housings, everything. So you can fit these to one of those if you have one of these and you fancy the metal parts.
Yeah.
Interchangeable. One of the drive shafts are interchangeable, might well be, but the point is the FTX family has lots of interchangeable parts, don't they? I mean, I fitted this bumper to my Outlaw because it comes on the Zorro.
Look at the shock towers, how they're actually taller. See the curve in the shock tower?
Oh, yeah, they are.
Let's show the camera.
There you go. Slightly different geometry, aren't they?
Yeah.
Same links.
The back's the same as well. Actually they kind of just come up more to a point than these ones.
Good. The point is, when it comes to the electronics, you can't, well, you can put a brushless system in your brushed Zorro, but you'll still not have a brushless Zorro. You'll just have a brushless brushed Zorro. Is that right?
Yeah, I did sell one of them once actually. Could have made it brushless because someone wanted a brushless
trophy truck.
Yeah, so it's a one-off.
Yeah.
So I'm just experimenting to see if they're actually.
So what would you call?
The shocks don't seem longer. Just the shock towers are different.
So what would you call then a brushed Zorro that's become brushless that isn't a brushless Zorro?
A brushless Toro, obviously.
Yeah, this one says Zorro on it.
Because that's what they wear.
That's what they wear.
Well, yeah.
So this, if you fitted this brushless system to this car, you're going to end up with an absolutely completely different animal, despite the fact they've got the same wheels, same tires, same wheelbase, and the same powertrain, and the same name, because this has got the solid rear axle. You'll find that this one will be able to put the power down way more effectively. It'll be way more stable.
Yeah.
Probably jump better, almost certainly. It will probably lose a little bit of that personality to the way it drives. In fact, it will. But that personality, when it's upside down for the 10th time in one bash, you're kind of like,
it can be annoying.
Screw personality, I want a more capable platform.
I notice when you put a brushless in some of these rear solid axle cars, they just kind of drive like with one wheel up.
Yeah, well what happens is
kind of like
the centrifugal force of the turning and drive shaft and turning gears makes the truck lean one way. It's essentially...
It turns the whole front chassis,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's essentially trying to bury one of the rear wheels into the tarmac. And obviously it can't do that, so it's transferred to the front where it lifts one side. But yeah, it will drive completely different. If you still want a trophy truck in brushless, your only option from FTX then is to get one of these and simply upgrade it, because there won't be a brushless version of this, because that's essentially what this is.
Yeah. Kind of weird, eh? Kind of waiting for them to make the brushless one of these, but they just never seem to come.
No.
Even though they do that chassis, obviously as a brushless Outlaw, you think why not just...
The brushless Outlaw is a brushless one of these, which they already do, and all they would have had to do is put the body shell
Stick
on
a shell in it.
and that's it, job done, in smaller wheels and tyres, but they chose not to.
So at least it's actually, which is quite good, it must have been obviously
I think what they've realised is, they've realised that this chassis with these wheels and tyres in this configuration is pretty much pushing what this is capable already. But even with a mild brushless system, so I think maybe this one, they're like, well, let's go 3S power, this can't handle it. I would never put 3S to
You
this
get
chassis.
2S with it. I put 3S in one of them. I made a brushless
Outlaw.
and it just 3S, and it just flipped for no reason, going in a straight line, smashed up, and then that was the last of me in Outlaw. I just too rough, I think, for 10 scales.
This looks a lot stronger.
Yeah, a lot stronger.
Yeah. Would you ignore 3S for a moment? Would you prefer a Zorro with a trophy truck setup, or would you prefer this sort of short course truck setup with a Zorro brushless?
Personally, that one probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably more authentic. You could probably fiddle around with it and make it a bit less wallopy, but I don't know. I just prefer this conventional chassis for some reason.
I mean, it's more capable.
Batteries, you know, the batteries lower down.
Yeah. But you're gonna have, with you got independent suspension all round, you're gonna have a more capable machine, aren't you? There's no doubt about it. And it's like this one has got the anti-roll bars, and this is the one that needs them.
Well, it's the back has got an anti-roll bar.
Yeah,
with all this mechanism, but it just doesn't seem to work. Eh?
Well, the sway links on this are plastic, and there's lots of flex in them. So I've upgraded mine to metal, which means the flex doesn't take up some of the sway effect, if that makes sense.
It's like this needs to be more rigid.
That needs to be beefier, certainly, but these need to be beefier as well, so this flex doesn't take up some of the effect. What some people do is fit the axial Yeti setup, and that's beefier. Anyway, this isn't about this one. Any standout features? Any standout parts to me? There's one downside I can see that I would change if I was to buy this, but the rest of it I'm pretty happy with. That downside is these wheels and tires, the foam disintegrates into powder very quickly. And it's the same
Probably
ones.
If you
they're
really,
not
mainly
good
if you
foams.
wet them, though. If they get wet.
Even if they weren't wet, I mean, that nitro one I tested for you, they were running. These were powder by the end of the running. There was no wet days.
Aye.
Yeah, and it was only 2 days worth. I mean, I'd cleaned everything up, and I was like, oh, it looks mint. And I squeezed the tires, and it went just filthy. It's like,
everywhere.
oh, it was terrible. So unless they upgrade the foams, the tires themselves are fine, but the foams are poor. Certainly they were in this one. And this one, they may be better already. I don't know. That's the one weak point that I do know. Everything else looks cracking. It's an e-tronics photon system, perfectly reliable, sensorless, but they don't seem to cog too bad, do they? They're not too bad.
No, they're alright. That's actually the same speedo as those
SMDs
ones.
yeah, SMD ones, and I've ran that.
Never have any issues with this.
No, I've run the SMD stuff. It's nice.
And we've actually run in the 60 amps on similar things, and they're fine. So an 80 amp, I reckon that'll be great.
Perfect, spot on. Yeah. So,
I'm a fan on the motor as well. A little fan, think fan, because some people like upgrading them with them as well.
I think you're a bit of a fan of the motor yourself.
Fanboy.
Yeah. So, what we need to do before we go is figure out the specs of this servo. Is the box around here anywhere?
Over there.
I'm
going to say
just a waterproof steering servo. It says there. Don't think it doesn't say
waterproof.
Waterproof. You're doing some research.
No, just carry on, mate. It's under control.
Alan isn't looking up the specs of the servo online. He's just sitting in his thinking place, trying to remember something he already knew, because he's got so much knowledge in that head of his. He's got to just sort of filter them. A bit like when Sherlock Holmes goes to his mind palace.
ESR2.
Yes. You're not hearing typing noises. You're hearing the cogs in Alan's brain turning.
There's nothing coming up.
Oh, Alan doesn't know this one. Do you have the transmitter there anywhere so we can look at that as well?
It'll be the
You assume?
4 battery shark fin aerial one.
Ah, okay. Well, if it is, we can just show it. That'll be fair. That'll be fine.
But let's check.
Okay.
Imagine it wasn't.
Imagine it was the double aerial, the 8 battery one.
Imagine it was a stick radio.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
But it's not! It's not that one!
Is it not?
It's actually a different radio.
It's got a different one.
Look at that.
Oh, sweet. Looks like something from War of
carbon,
the Worlds, doesn't it? It looks like the
fibre.
one. This is the War of the Worlds transmitter. It's not real carbon fibre. Behave yourself.
Shush.
It's just the new transmitter.
Carbon fibre.
Carbon faker. What we got here? Dual rate, throttle trim, steering trim, normal stuff.
That's tiny buttons.
That's a nice little design, isn't it?
Funky.
I'm not sure about the fan flower shape on the steering.
Call it fan. The flower doesn't sound too good. Oh man, that comes off sideways. That's so weird. Why is that weird?
Because
why is that the weirdest thing of that transmitter?
I have no idea, but the whole that's funky, isn't it? So there we are. It's a funky transmitter that comes with it. Different. So not a different platform. It comes with a different servo and a different transmitter and a different ESC than every other one as well.
And it is an e-tronics Pulse.
I guess
It is an Etronics radio.
I guess we can assume that this platform is going to be used in multiple things moving forward, and maybe that's the new transmitter moving forward, and maybe that's the new SC moving forward. So all the FTX stuff will eventually migrate over to it. It's possible, like how they all moved over to that 60 amp speed controller.
Yeah.
In the brushless.
But the old radio wasn't. There's nothing wrong with the older radio.
No, it's fine.
The first radio did have a bit of a snappy aerial on it.
I never
It
snapped
still
them.
worked fine.
The first one, the only thing wrong with the Mark 1 was the fact that it used 8 AA's and then they went to 4.
The aerials are slowly getting smaller.
I know.
You had first
Does that
radio,
mean eventually
and then second radio, and now this radio.
Does that mean like the Mark 4 is going to have like 10 feet of range maximum? You got to follow it around.
Or
Tiny
wire.
aerial. Or a wire. There we are. Nice.
Cool, something different. It's alright, yeah.
Yeah. So, I thought we'd just talk about the aesthetics before we let it go, because we both expected the brushless one of these to be more similar to this one, because they usually only have the two designs, don't they? They got the Bugstar, one green, one blue. They got the Outlaws, one red, one blue. But they've decided to go for a third one, because it's not enough that they have 3 different platforms.
I actually
and 3
thought
different
they were
radios.
going to use this shell, because you get, in the Nitro you get orange and blue, and then when the brushed one came out it was blue, and I was like, well, when the brushless comes out obviously they're going to use the orange one, but they didn't.
Well, what about the
Look at
hold
this.
on? What about the
It's got orange
what
in
about
it.
the Carnage Nitro? Does it have a different body shell?
No, it's still the old shell.
Still the old
They've
one.
not done the new one yet.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, I really
Something new in that box so you could show your viewers.
Oh, yeah, we'll have a look.
Something new. In
I
comparison.
really
That
like-
might be another video though.
I really like the aesthetics of the new body shell. I think the colours are so much better. This is fine. This is absolutely fine. Do you want to stop making? Do you want to stop making? I just dropped body clip.
Ah.
Do you want to stop making a noise in the background?
I'm trying to multitask.
I know this is your shop, but you want to stop doing that.
Look. That's a different colour too.
What's that? Advantage. Vantage 2.0.
So
Good.
is that another video?
No.
We're just going to ram it on the edge of this video so you
Yeah.
can
Nobody
let people see.
Yeah. Vantage. Yeah. No. Anyway.
That's the advantage of doing videos.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Stop doing your dad jokes. Right. You know that this one's faster because it's got fire extinguishers. Look. This thing's got fire extinguishers. The brush ones doesn't. So.
Oh, maybe there's an issue with the speed controllers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like that. I do. I like it. I definitely.
I like it.
have that
I
one over all
much
of them.
prefer the colour. This is my sort of colours. Those sort of oranges and whites and stuff. What do they call them? Warm colours. Prefer that in a body shell. It's nice. Really like it. It's a really broad construct, and the FTX in general have improved their sticker and paint quality, haven't they, compared to what they used to be? And they look cracking now. It looks really nice. In the flesh, I expected, because I'm for some reason still quite a fan of the Outlaw platform, even though mine has been the most unreliable thing I've ever owned in my life. Oh, it's been horrific. But I really like it for some reason.
You just like, I don't know, for some reason you like that, the character of it, eh? The
I
kind
do.
of like, oh, it's gonna tip. Oh,
Yeah, but it breaks
it's
all the
just
time. I like working on RCs, so it's like, honestly.
my favourite car because it keeps
Breaking, yeah. But seeing this in the flesh, it's like, that's really nice. I actually kind of would go for this rather than brushless converting one of those.
I think so.
Yeah.
I like it that screw is half done up. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll sort we're just complimenting FTX on the finish quality.
On the build quality.
Someone's got to the end at sort of 4:59 on a Friday evening and went, that'll do. That's close enough.
Or their electric screwdriver ran out. Look, we'll fix it, because here at T Models we don't like
Breaking
things
exhausts.
half
I mean,
screwed in. There you go.
perfect. No, it's good.
Funky.
Lovely.
It looks a lot more of a solid platform. The chassis looks more solid than the actual Carnage.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You could still look. This is still that separate part. So
you can
could
replace
still,
that rather than the chassis. Although
You can get metal fronts as well. They do metal fronts for that.
it remains to be seen. I mean, the back one is one piece.
You can't. It does look like one piece. I don't know if you can tell from the camera. It's two pieces, but
Yeah.
it is basically
That's
the same
different.
as that.
But the metal chassis upgrade, you might lose that feature like you do in some of the other ones. It becomes like
That's the thing. It just
the metal one
becomes
of
a
these.
flat one, eh?
Yeah. That was close. Yeah. Bro, what is the retail price this, Alan?
It is.
Have you forgotten?
I've not made a sign yet. I think it's 259. 259. Right. Cut.
You're so
cut,
You're so professional. So what's that, Alan? Are you?
busy this week.
What's up, Alan? Are you going back into your mind palace over somewhere near where the computer is, but just as a pure coincidence?
259 is, yeah. 260 quid.
260 quid.
259,
260 quid retail, and these are 150. So they're 110 quid more than the brushed version, but it's not really the brushed version, is it? Because it's not the same car at all in any way.
Well, they're all pretty much £100 more.
For the brushless.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a brushless
so
version.
You're talking, they're on par with price, but you're getting a higher probably amperage speed controller than the other ones, because the other ones are 60 or even 45. This is a 45 amp speedo.
Yeah.
This is a 60 amp speedo, weirdly enough, because it's the same car. That's an 80 amp speedo.
That's probably going to blow a 45 more because these big wheels and tyres.
Yeah.
But
80.
Perfect. The problem is this isn't the brushless version of this, but even though it shares the same body shell and name, it's because it's not the same platform. The brushless version of this is the brushless Outlaw, really. But what would you call it if you made this one brushless? I don't know. I'd have a brushless brushed Zorro. Brushless brushed Zorro. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. And you will definitely see more of this platform in the FTX's range. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but there's no way they've come up with this.
It seems like it seems like it's a logical thing to do, but yeah, who knows what.
Maybe the Carnages will be all upgraded to this
It's
eventually.
longer, but it's a longer chassis, isn't it? You just get a dumpy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah, it is. Yeah, quite a lot longer.
Unless you just get a dumpy version of this chassis, it wouldn't be that. You just change the drive shaft and it's there, isn't it?
And the top plate, yeah. It's quite nice, actually. Yeah, it's cracking. It's lovely. And
quite cool if they'd done something with longer wishbones and bigger wheels, like a bigger truck.
Well, they might well. I mean, this has got plenty of potential. It's obviously 3S compatible. When you buy yourself a 3S lipo, what would that cost you? Another 20-30 quid for 3S lipo?
Yeah.
And then you could
30, pretty decent one.
You get for
35 quid for a 3,600 3S.
So for under £300 you've got 3S ready to run, belting about at ridiculous speeds. It's not bad. Not bad at all.
And people have put the bug spin out on 3S, so if this is a higher spec, that'll be fine. Also, the good thing I think is maybe a centre diff, so if your landing's a bit funny with the throttle on, sometimes it helps. The back wheels jam, but the power kind of goes through at the front a little bit, so you don't get that bang on the rear gearbox. The rear kind of.
Yeah, the Carnage platform doesn't have a centre diff, does it? No. So it's not bad. Cool. It's not bad value, is it?
It's totally sealed, though, as you said. You can't see there's any way for stones to get in.
I'm sure. Well, a little bit. I wouldn't trust it as being completely sealed, but it's certainly resistant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Debris resistant as opposed to debris proof. Cool, man.
I'll probably back off the shocks a little bit. They seem awfully springy.
Yeah, you can. It's got a lot of preload. It's got a lot of preload. But you can play around. That's all for shocks.
It's just no down at all. Yeah, you probably want it sitting.
You know you're trying to sell this, right? This is the best setup I've ever seen in my life, and
look at that.
All right.
That was how easy it was to adjust the shocks. Look at that. Pull it down. Oh, look at that. It actually spins.
Now it's different left to right. Anyway, right. Whatever. We'll sort that. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you soon.
And each other.
Yes, and
is
each
that
other.
Jerry Springer? No, who's that?
No idea. No idea.
Sorry.
And I don't work here. See you later. Bye bye.
It's not my channel. Thanks, man. See you later. Here, Mike, but what about this? What about the Vantage 2.0? Look, it's a different car.
Nobody cares.